What's up, guys? OFSREagle here, bringing you a brand new video today. Today I'm bringing you guys a long overdue video that I'm sure you guys have been wondering, where I've been and things of that nature. There's a lot of topics I have to address in this video, and we'll get through it. I'm just going to do some quick play or whatever. So I do apologize for the long wait in the video. There's been a lot of things happening in my life, and there's also been some things happening with Halo news, which I'm sure you guys have been wondering my response to it or how I'd approach it. So the first thing I want to address is I did release a video about a month ago, which you guys may have seen and wondered about. I, in fact, got engaged and proposed to my girlfriend of now over 5 years, and she is now my fiance. She said yes. Also, with that, we've already set a date for next year, and already there's a lot of planning and things to do that have to get in order before it's too late. So we have a lot to work on, me and my fiance, and it's scary at first. Obviously, it's a big life step. There's a lot of things we have to get sorted out, and so that's where a lot of my time and attention has been put into. A lot of it's been put into that. Also, something that I never got around to addressing was my role in Wraith Esports as the Halo captain. So there were some questions regarding my role as the Halo captain, and one of those things was putting together a roster. Now I do want to let you guys know I did actually put together a roster, and I was going to make an announcement video for it. But the issue was that there was a last-minute change in it due to some personal matters one of the members had to do. So I didn't actually get to complete the actual roster because about 2 weeks into finalizing it, it changed again. And then on top of that, the next part of the news that I'm really excited to announce is I am going to DreamHack Atlanta to compete and not just go there. I was hoping there'd be a free-for-all. The Halo 3 2v2 is actually in place of the free-for-all. So there won't be free-for-all there, so I was, disappointed in that. I love free-for-all. I was hoping to compete in that, but I thought that'd be it for me. And then, luckily, my fiance for my birthday was so generous to get me a ticket to go, and so I was definitely going. So I wanted to figure out, okay, what can I do there? So after talking with a few people in some Discord groups that I'm a part of, we were actually able to put together a 4v4 squad, and we are going to go to actually compete in the 4v4 LAN, and we'll be part of the open bracket, and I'm really excited for it. Hopefully it goes really well. We've been practicing a bit. Right now it is October 23rd, so we have about 3 weeks to before the actual competition and to really practice and get a good vibe with each other. It's nothing too serious. This isn't actually like the Wraith Esports roster going in. But the reason why it's so important to me that we do this, and this is the next part of the next part of the talk, is the state of Halo. If you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have, Tashi from 343 Industries announced on October 19th that much to the suspicion of a lot of people, including myself, there was a lot of rumors regarding it and kind of pointing that direction, but the DreamHack Atlanta event will be the final Halo 5 HCS LAN event. And it was something that a lot of people kind of expected, sadly, to hear, but that's the reality of the situation, is that it is the last Halo 5 official HCS LAN event. Now, when I first saw the details for Atlanta and saw that there was a Halo 3 2v2 following the big MCC update, that's something that was immediately in my mind, because I don't know if you don't remember, when the first news for Halo Infinite came out, I did a little collab with All This Life and talked about what the impact of Halo Infinite and its direction could mean for Halo 5 and its life cycle. Seeing that the MCC has been so heavily focused on by 343 Industries and getting it to a state where it could easily handle competitive play in a tournament setting now, especially for Halo 3. Once they announced the Halo 3 2v2, I knew that was their first step in testing to see if it could actually replace Halo 5 for HCS tournament play. Sadly, I'm right. So in the post by Tashi, I'll just read a few statements. After 3 years of tournaments, unbelievable moments and matches, more than $6 million awarded, the HCS Finals 2018 at DreamHack Atlanta will be the final official Halo 5 esports tournament for the Halo Championship Series. Though competitive Halo will continue on in brand new ways, more on that below. We're so thankful to all the fans. And then you go into what's next. It says, esports, what's next? Esports and supporting the competitive Halo community continues to be an important part and focus for the Halo studio, and there will be still events and activities for competitive players to participate in beyond Halo 5. I'm showcasing a few keywords here. Be immediately addressed. With MCC receiving improvements and new features and Halo Infinite in development, we are excited to seize an opportunity to lay the foundation for the entire competitive scene to build up from there and support the community as it grows. Grassroots is the next part. Later this year, we're kicking off a program to support grassroots tournaments and content creators across all Halo titles, and we will have full details to share at DreamHack Atlanta. We believe that Halo Esports is only as successful as the community and foundation it's built upon, and investing in grassroots is an important part of seeing that. And then it has a full paragraph about the Master Chief Collection, and in that it says, with the recent updates and improvements to MCC, and with even more feature work underway, there's a renewed sense of excitement and reinvigoration for these games, particularly with Halo 3. We're excited to support this with a 2v2 showdown at DreamHack Atlanta, and will continue to deliver like experiences. The scope and specifics of potential MCC competitive offerings will be largely dependent on how well the 2v2 showdown performs in terms of participation and viewership. We're eager to kick this off, and we'll be keeping a close eye on the community response as we continue to evaluate plans and opportunities for MCC moving forward. They again go right into Halo Infinite and saying that Halo 5 has been really key in learning and teaching the developers what to do for Halo Infinite. And then they say thank you. So the reason why I bring this up, I'll obviously link the article in the description below. There's a lot of keywords put in their wording. First, under what's next, there will still be events and activities for competitive players to participate in beyond Halo 5. Meaning they are looking literally beyond Halo 5. They're kind of taking their eyes off of it. Later this year, we're kicking off a program to support grassroots tournaments across all Halo titles. Doesn't say Halo 5. And then it keeps bringing up MCC. And then they even say the success of the Halo 3 2v2 determines the future of the MCC as competitive play. So you can tell that it isn't just that 343 Industries is switching their focus from Halo 5 and also focusing on MCC. They're completely changing their focal point and taking it off Halo 5, I'm pretty sure altogether. Now, how does that affect me? How does that affect you guys who watch my content? The reality of the situation is, and I've said this before, I never played the older Halo titles. And what that means is that there's a lot of meta with Halo 1, 2, and 3 that I'm just not familiar with. My first Halo was Reach, and then I played Halo 4, and all I did was SWAT in them. Halo 5 has been my first real Halo game. And what that means is that with this switch to Halo 3 specifically, I'm a fish out of water. Now, sure, I could learn it, but my big niche in Halo 5 was learning the meta, and at a rate that had to be accelerated faster than most because I was a year and a half late into its life cycle. I didn't really start playing this game seriously until January of 2017, and the game had only been out for a year and a half. The reality is Halo 3 has been out for over 10 years. It is now making a resurgence, and all these players who play it have had 10 years of experience. It would take me eons to catch up to the meta that's been established for over 10 years. And with that, there isn't really anything for me to really add to the Halo 3 scene, sadly. I mean, with Halo 5, sure it's already an quote-unquote old game, but the fact is when I first started it, it was only a year and a half in, and I was still able to like learn these jumps and learn the meta, and also add to it, with my personal like application of skill jumps and the swing jump glitch, like all that stuff kind of goes hand in hand. But with Halo 3, it's already established and solidified in concrete. There's nothing new under the sun for it. And as for me, my channel has always been about helping you guys get better through new ways. I can't do that with Halo 3. Plus, I would be climbing an uphill battle just to get to the same point that most of the people are already at. Unlike Halo 5, I have to do a big relearn for Halo 3, and it would just take so much time to do that. And like I said, with where I'm at in life, I now have a wedding to plan for. I'm just not at a point where I could commit as much to Halo 3 or MCC as I did with Halo 5. Halo 5 was a stage of life where I could do it, I could do the grind. And also the issue is that because MCC is a Halo title, I'm going to want to do it competitively, right? I'm going to want to try my absolute best, and I'm at a stage in life right now, sadly, where I can do that, but it would be at the sacrifices of other things that to me right now are just higher on the priority list, mainly the wedding and the future with my fiance. So I know in order for me to do anything of relevance for MCC, I'd have to spend more time than what I have right now to it. And I feel like it wouldn't be that important because everything's already been established. Now, beyond that, the question that's left is, what about Halo 5? Why can't I continue to grind Halo 5 content? It's no secret Halo 5 content has been stale for a long while. It's a miracle I've been able to produce as much as I have, given how old the game is, I'm so thankful for your guys' support through it all. I literally couldn't have done it without you guys. But the fact of the matter is, especially for me as a competitive player, with the state that it's in, and with the announcement that 343 Industries made regarding Halo 5 and MCC, I can guarantee you that following DreamHack Atlanta, we're going to see a big dip in population. It's going to be almost non-existent. Simply because the developers, it isn't just that the developer said, okay, this will be the last Halo 5 LAN event, which is what I was expecting, but I also thought they would continue online tournament support and Microsoft Store support. There would still be a goal and a reason to grind. The reality is, after Atlanta, there will be no tournament, nothing to grind for, nothing of that nature. So what that means is that there won't be any purpose in playing the ranked arena. It's not relevant in terms of practicing to get better or anything like that. That leaves me in a position of, what am I to do? I have saturated a lot of Halo 5's mechanics and the skill jumps and that meta, which I love. I've also, if you've seen in my previous videos, I've had to switch to some content that's more around bettering yourself as a player. But the reality is, there will be none of that left, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but pointing back to the wording from Tashi and 343 Industries, it seems that they themselves are taking their focus off. And when the developer of a game takes their focus off like that, large amount of the population will go with it. And it's not that they're just taking it off, they're now putting it towards MCC, which a lot of people want. And normally I would be switching to it as well, but because I never played the older Halos, it'd be a big learning curve, a lot of meta to learn. I just can't do that right now. So in terms of Halo 5, after Atlanta, what I've decided to do is, there's a lot of content that I've created, not just video-wise, but there's still a lot of assets that I've made to help people better themselves. I've done a lot of private lessons, and I've loved every minute of it. But even my students are now looking to other games like Black Ops 4. I mean, the fact is that a lot of the pro teams are switching from Halo to Black Ops 4. And that kind of tells you the state of Halo 5. There really won't be a competitive scene at all. Sadly, there's a lot of leftover things that I have from teaching these private lessons that I was keeping on reserve, but as Halo has unfolded in the past months, I'm just going to do basically a big info dump. I'm going to release some new, but there's a few glitches that I've known about in certain things and different maps and certain glitches that I've kept under wraps because it would break the game. Once the Spartan Charge and Ground Pound was removed from competitive play, it actually kind of freed me up to then release this glitch because it wouldn't be in competitive play at all. So with that being said, I still have a lot of content that I want to share, so I'm going to share it. I've kind of made the decision that I don't think I'm going to continue after DreamHack Atlanta grinding out Halo 5 in a competitive sense. There really wouldn't be much reason for it. And sadly, it just means that there's not much to... Oh, look at that. Oh, look, that's it. There's nothing else for me to really add to Halo 5. I've thought long and hard about it. And I have to admit when it's time to move on from something. In the following weeks, I'm going to do a big release. It's going to be a lot of release videos, different maps and things I've done, just so many different things. But after that, I've been on this grind for a long while, and there are a lot of other areas in my life that need some attention, and I'm not giving up YouTube. I'm not giving up Twitch. I realize I'm way too fortunate to have the support I've had through it. I've met way too many awesome people through Halo 5 to just give up on it entirely and give up on gaming in general. I love Halo 5 because of the mindset it's taught me in terms of being a team player, in terms of learning how to better yourself, be self-analytical, learn how to just get better at whatever you want to set your mind to. That's something that is a big takeaway for me for Halo 5. With that being said, I'm not going to, I thought about maybe switching to a different game competitively in the same sense that like Spartan did. He switched to Rainbow Six Siege, even though he still plays Halo after Atlanta. He's gonna be switching to Rainbow Six, and I thought about doing something like that. Like, should I switch to Black Ops? Should I switch to Rainbow Six, CS:GO? The reality is, with my stage of life, I have some other things that require my full attention, and it would be foolish for me to give up my YouTube and streaming. So what I'm going to do is, following my big info dump and releasing literally all I have left to share for this game, I'm just going to be doing content that I'd like to do. It's been almost a year and a half since I started YouTube, and I have grown a pretty decent following given that it's Halo 5. I came in late and I didn't really have any expectations. I'm so thankful to all the people who have helped me get to the point where I'm at. Novacast specifically, he really was the one that took me from nothing to where I'm at now. Even though he's moved on, other titles, not Halo. And when I made my channel, I made the conscious decision to be a Halo 5 content creator exclusively. Doesn't mean I'd never play another game, but I would never do it on my channel. I never do it on stream. I would literally only be Halo 5. And I stayed true to that all the way up until this point. And that was at the expense of viewership. There was a lot of other things I could have decided to do to help me monetarily, my viewership and health of the channel. But I still have such a love for Halo 5 that hasn't and will not go away. But the reality is, after DreamHack Atlanta, it's going to force itself on me. There really won't be much of a reason to grind anymore. It will kind of be over, sadly. And I know that the post said there was stuff about grassroots tournaments, but the key wording was all Halo titles, and they kept referring to Halo 3 and MCC. 343 Industries put a lot of work and effort into Halo 5, and it's literally my favorite game of all time. With the fact that I've now taken over a year and a half to put exclusively to Halo 5, I am now free to try out games that I've been wanting to try out on stream or make videos about. To be honest, Rainbow Six Siege has intrigued me. I will literally be at a point where I can kind of do whatever I want. I won't be obligated to Halo 5 anymore. You know, it completely saddens me that Halo 5 is where it's at with the competitive scene and content, but it's reality of it. You know, I've kind of stuck this out a lot longer than other content creators have, who used to be Halo 5 exclusive content creators. So I absolutely love making content. I love streaming, and what that means is that I'm not going to give that up. But because of my preparations for the wedding and my marriage, I'm not going to be grinding out anything. When I can stream, I'll stream. When I can do a YouTube video, I'll do a YouTube video. That's basically it. I have a lot to be thankful for. I don't want you guys to feel like giving up. I'm not. I absolutely love the support that you guys have given me personally, whether it's not just because of Halo 5, you know, it's because you find me hopefully entertaining. I am going to apply the mindset that I've grown from Halo 5 to other games, but I won't be looking to do it competitively or anything. I can't take that commitment right now. So that explains why DreamHack Atlanta coming up has been at the focal point of not just me, so many people, because this is the last Halo 5 event. This is it. It's sad that my first actual officially 44 competing like at an actual HES event will be the last, but you know what? It's gonna be great. I'm gonna meet Shyway there, Callus, a lot of other people. You know, made a lot of friends through this, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I wanted to give you guys just an update of where I've been. I've also been really sick for the past month. It's taken a lot out of me. I know this has been a long video, but stay tuned. I'm going to be releasing a lot of awesome content that I'm now free and at the liberty to release to you guys. I'm very excited for it. So I'm looking forward to trying many different games I know and love, new games I've never tried. Feel free to suggest content and games that you'd like to see me try. Like I said, the only thing that's really caught my attention is Rainbow Six, and I've never played it in my life. I don't have the first clue about it. So with that, I have a lot to try out, and we'll see where it goes from there. So thank you guys very much. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.